We're already halfway through 2025, and let's be honest, this year's been crazy. Explosive fights, comeback sequels, and animations so clean it practically broke the internet. But while everyone's been hyping the same big titles, some hidden action gems have been quietly stealing the spotlight. And believe me, at least one of these will catch you completely off guard. Welcome back to Anime Dungeon, the home of true anime fans where we dig deeper than the hype to uncover the best stories Japan has to offer. This time we're skipping the mainstream stuff like One Piece, My Hero Academia, and Spy X Family. It's all about the fresh action anime of 2025, the ones you might have missed but absolutely shouldn't. So before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's just one click for you, but it means the world to us. At number 10, we have Dusk Beyond the End of the World, a haunting sci-fi drama that blurs the line between love and technology. The story follows Akira Himegami, a man placed into cryogenic sleep after confessing his feelings to his foster sister, Tawasa Omaki, a brilliant AI developer. Moments later, both are caught in a devastating assassination attempt. When Akira finally awakens decades later, he finds a world forever changed, one where artificial intelligence governs society, and the woman he once loved may live on only as data within the system. Dusk Beyond the End of the World explores memory, emotion, and the terrifying beauty of a future where humanity and AI are inseparable. It's visually stunning, emotionally charged, and filled with mystery from start to finish. If you enjoyed Vivi Fluorite Eye's Song or Plastic Memories, this one will absolutely break your heart in the best way possible. At number 9, we have Kakuriyo Bed and Breakfast for Spirits Season 2, a story that blends warmth, fantasy, and the supernatural in the most unexpected way. The plot follows Aoi Tsubaki, a college student gifted or cursed with the ability to see spirits. After her grandfather's death, she's suddenly pulled into the spirit world by a powerful ogre named Odana, who demands she marry him to pay off her grandfather's enormous debt. But Aoi isn't the type to give in. Instead of marriage, she strikes her own path, choosing to work off the debt at Tenjin-ya, Odana's luxurious inn that caters to spirits. There, her kindness and incredible cooking slowly win over even the most intimidating Ayakashi. Kakuriyo Bed and Breakfast for Spirits stands out for its soothing atmosphere and mature storytelling, offering a cozy yet emotionally rich escape. Studio Gonzo brings the spirit world to life with vibrant colors and ethereal charm, while the soundtrack wraps you in that warm, nostalgic feeling. It's the perfect watch when you want action that's calm, comforting, and full of heart. At number 8, we have A Star Brighter Than the Sun, a story that trades swords and monsters for something just as powerful emotion. The series follows Sei, a strong but soft-hearted girl who's always stood out for her toughness rather than her charm. Ever since elementary school, she's had a quiet crush on Koki, a kind and gentle boy who once showed her warmth when no one else did. Years later in high school, fate brings them back together on the sports festival committee. But things aren't simple. Koki's grown into a popular, easygoing heartthrob, and Sei finds herself struggling between hope, fear, and the shadow of other girls' feelings for him. A Star Brighter Than the Sun shines with its emotional realism, showing love not as fantasy but as a mix of courage, insecurity, and growth. With its soft pastel visuals, heartfelt animation by Cloverworks, and a mellow piano-driven score, this series feels less like an anime and more like a memory. It's a quiet, human kind of story, one that reminds you love can hit harder than any battle. At number 7, we have Let This Grieving Soul Retire, a hilarious and unpredictable twist on the classic hero story. It follows Cry Andre, a weak and clumsy boy who somehow ends up leading the Grieving Souls, a team of ridiculously powerful treasure hunters who all think he's a strategic genius. In reality, Cry just wants to quit. Every brilliant decision he makes is pure luck or panic, yet it always works out in his favor, earning him the infamous title of the 1,000 Tricks. What follows is a mix of chaos, misunderstandings, and unwanted fame, as Cry keeps trying to escape the life of glory everyone insists he was born for. Let This Grieving Soul Retire stands out for its blend of comedy and adventure, flipping the overpowered hero trope on its head. The animation by JC Staff delivers both action and absurd humor with crisp energy, while the lighthearted fantasy soundtrack keeps the mood perfectly balanced. It's a must-watch for anyone who loves shows like Konosuba or The Eminence in Shadow. At number 6, we have A Wild Last Boss Appeared, a fantasy action series that flips the typical isekai formula on its head. The story begins when a man wakes up 200 years after his defeat in the MMO RPG X-Gate Online, only to find himself reincarnated as his in-game avatar, the legendary final boss Lufus Mafal, the black-winged overlord. But this isn't a game anymore. The NPCs he once knew now think and feel like real people. The world has evolved far beyond his understanding, and his former allies have either vanished or turned against him. As Lufus journeys across this new reality, he's forced to uncover the truth behind the world's corruption and his own legacy as a once feared ruler. A wild last boss appeared stands out for its fresh take on the overpowered protagonist trope, mixing mystery, world building, and epic power dynamics with real emotional weight. With dynamic animation by Studio Passione and a sweeping orchestral score, every battle feels massive and purposeful. It's a must-watch for fans of Overlord and Re:Zero. At number 5 we have This Monster Wants to Eat Me, a dark yet strangely beautiful story that blurs the line between love, death, and desire. The series follows Hinako, a suicidal high school girl who's long since given up on life until she meets Shiori, a mermaid-like yokai who promises to protect her from other monsters. But there's a cruel twist. Shiori will only protect her until the day Hinako becomes the most delicious, at which point she plans to eat her. Instead of running, Hinako accepts her fate, and what unfolds is a hauntingly emotional Yuri drama about two broken souls bound by tragedy. As their bond deepens, Hinako begins to question whether she truly wants to die or if Shiori's affection is something she's been longing for all along. This Monster Wants to Eat Me is gripping not for its action but for its psychological depth and bittersweet tension. Animated by MAPPA, it balances eerie underwater visuals with raw emotional close-ups that make every moment hit hard. It's equal parts horror and heartbreak, a story that proves sometimes the scariest thing isn't being eaten, it's learning to live. At number 4 we have Tojima Tanzaburo Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, a hilarious yet heartfelt series that proves you're never too old to chase your dreams, even the crazy ones. The story follows Tojima Tanzaburo, a 40-year-old man who spent his entire life obsessed with Kamen Rider. Most people outgrow their childhood hero, but not Tojima. Just when it seems like his dream of becoming a real rider will stay a fantasy, he's suddenly pulled into a string of robberies inspired by the infamous Shocker organization from the Kamen Rider universe. What starts as cosplay and nostalgia quickly turns into a chaotic mix of real danger, absurd comedy, and genuine heart as Tojima and his friends blur the line between fans and fighters. Tojima Tanzaburo Wants to Be a Kamen Rider stands out for its mix of satire and sincerity, poking fun at otaku culture while celebrating it at the same time. With its crisp animation from Studio Leiden Films and a vibrant tokusatsu-inspired soundtrack, it captures that retro superhero spirit in the most unexpected way. It's one of those rare series that makes you laugh, tear up, and maybe even believe in your childhood dreams again. At number 3 we have May I Ask for One Last Thing, a fantasy revenge drama that starts with heartbreak and turns into pure power. The story begins when Scarlet, a noblewoman of grace and intelligence, is humiliated in front of the entire royal court. Her fiancé, the second Prince Kyle of Pariston, publicly breaks off their engagement to be with another woman, Tereneza Hopkins, who accuses Scarlet of years of bullying. Instead of pleading her innocence, Scarlet smiles and accepts the breakup, but before leaving, she calmly asks for one last favor, a wish Tereneza arrogantly grants. What follows is the most satisfying twist you can imagine as Scarlet reveals her hidden strength and turns the tables in glorious fashion. May I Ask for One Last Thing is everything fans of revenge fantasy crave: elegance, wit, and justice served cold. With stunning visuals by A1 Pictures and powerful voice acting that captures both Scarlet's pain and poise, every scene oozes tension and triumph. It's not just another noblewoman drama, it's a masterclass in dignity, deception, and divine retribution. At number 2 we have To Your Eternity, Season 3, a series that continues to redefine what it means to live, to feel, and to lose. The story follows an immortal, shape-shifting being known only as It, a mysterious orb of light sent to Earth to observe and understand life. At first it mimics the lifeless a rock, a wolf, but after crossing paths with a dying boy, it takes on his form and becomes Fushi. From that moment, his journey becomes one of endless discovery and heartbreak, as he learns the beauty and pain of humanity through those he meets, and inevitably loses along the way. To Your Eternity isn't just an action fantasy, it's a spiritual odyssey that hits you right in the soul. Every season peels back more of Fushi's evolving humanity, blending philosophy, tragedy, and hope in a way few anime dare to. With Brain's Base returning to deliver breathtaking animation and emotionally charged direction, Season 3 promises to be its most haunting chapter yet. It's a story about immortality, but its impact feels deeply, achingly human. At number 1, we have Ranma 1x2 Season 2. The long-awaited return of one of anime's most iconic martial arts comedies. The story follows Ranma Sayotome, a martial arts prodigy who, thanks to a bizarre curse from a training trip in China, transforms into a girl whenever he's splashed with cold water, and only hot water can turn him back. His life gets even messier when his father and Akane Tendo's father arrange an engagement between the two to unite their dojos. What follows is pure chaos, romantic tension, hilarious misunderstandings, martial arts battles that break every rule of logic, and a cast of rivals that never seem to quit. Ranma has always been a perfect mix of action, heart, and absurd humor. And Season 2 keeps that magic alive while updating it for a modern audience. Studio David Production delivers sharp, expressive animation and fluid fight choreography that makes every duel feel larger than life. With vibrant colors, nostalgic energy, and a remastered soundtrack that hits that 90s charm, Ranma Season 2 proves that some classics never fade, they just get even better with time. And that wraps up our list of the top 10 action anime of 2025. From emotional journeys to epic comebacks, this year's lineup proves anime is more than fights, it's heart, story, and style. If you found something new to watch, hit that like button and subscribe. It's just one click for you, but it means the world to us. This is Anime Dungeon, and we'll see you in the next one.